Welcome back to album review.
Yo,
We're doing a Luke suggestion this week. What is it?
it is down. The album name is Nola. This is a pretty fun album to me. I figured I would throw it in a ring because it's a super chill smoker stoner metal album. And it's a supergroup of a band member that we've seen live.
Pantera's Phil Anselmo,
Yeah.
which we've also reviewed some Pantera albums in the past if you want to check those out.
Yes, sir. This album is pretty fucking dope, I'm not gonna lie.
So yeah, I noticed there is 5 of these albums.
Yeah, so this is mostly just a side project for the major members of the band.
Yeah.
This wasn't supposed to be like some big grandiose project. It was just for fun, like literally Phil, singer for Pantera, Kurt Winstein, the singer and rhythm guitarist for Crowbar, and then Pepper James Keenan of Corrosions of Conformity. They just came together and like, yo, let's jam and smoke some pot and make an album. And they had a few different members over the tenure of being a band. Like it started in '95, like mid to late '95.
Yeah.
And there was a reoccurring thing of like people just showing up and then disappearing for a while. So like Rex Brown, who was also at the live show for Pantera, was not a founding member, but a member from '99 to 2011.
Okay.
And then after that, not Bobby Landgraf, Danny Thoreau was the bass player for a brief period in time. Currently, Todd Strange is the current bass player.
Okay.
Oh no, I'm sorry, Pat Bruders. Pat Bruders is.
Alright.
Yeah, there's a bunch of fun stuff, so.
Yeah, should we just get into it?
Yeah.
Or is there anything else you want to say?
Nah.
Alright.
I got most of it.
First track is Temptation's Wings.
This one's fucking fire, bro.
I think the first track hits pretty hard. I like the first track.
It's not bad.
It's kind of it's heavy.
It's a
When
very
I heard
heavy.
a stoner vibe. When I turned the first track on, I was like, "What the fuck?"
It's a lot heavier than I expected it to be, for sure.
But this is considered to be a part of like the great stoner metal albums.
Mhm.
So like there will be hints of like different styles of metal. But Temptation's Wings is like a banger, bro. This is like one of their best.
It's pretty
live
heavy.
songs.
I don't hate it. It's not bad. I like that song.
The next one is Lifer. This one is
This one's
dedicated to Dimebag. Every time they play this song live, it's always Phil saying goes out to Dimebag and Vince. No, now that Vince is dead, it goes out to him too. But it was always a dedication song.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the song's okay.
Yeah, it's alright.
Pillars of Eternity. This
one's cool.
This one's fun. It's just kind of mid to an extent. It feels
I
like
guess
some
so.
of these songs are filler. But Rehab's a song that I personally enjoy. This
Yeah.
isn't something that's played live.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Rehab.
It was alright, I guess.
Hail to the Leaf, straight up pop song.
Yeah, that is like one
Yeah.
of the big hot songs on the album,
It was
for
pretty
sure.
neat. Yeah, I like that one.
Did you hear the fucking bong toke?
Mhm.
That's Phil. That's Phil ripping the Jeep.
Mhm.
Um,
I don't hear too much stoner metal. There is another stoner metal song that I really like off of a Disturbed album. I don't remember which one it is. I think it might be their second or third album.
right.
But they also have a stoner, like a couple stoner songs, and that threw me through a loop listening through Disturbed's discography one time.
Right.
I didn't expect it. So stoner metal is still kind of like new to me. I haven't really
Gotcha.
listened to a lot of
It's
it.
tons of fun. I'll try and find a good one to show you.
Yeah.
Hail to the Leaf is also a big live song. Like this is one of the best ones out of like this entire album that gets played constantly as like a reoccurring song.
Okay.
Underneath Everything's Okay.
And
I like it, but
honestly, the first half of the album, I'm just not really a huge on.
Hail to the Leaf, Temptation's Wings, and Lifer are like the three big ones.
Yeah,
for the
okay.
first half. Then Eyes of the South.
I like Eyes of the
I
South.
like
one's
Eyes
fun.
of the South.
This
Yeah.
one's hardcore.
Also-
Jail.
Jail's also good. It's a
I
it's
also
a chiller
quite like
one.
Jail, yeah.
But like, I'll say the second half of the album, I do really like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I really like the last half of the album a little more. They
Yeah.
slowed down a little bit towards the last half. It's
Yeah.
not as I feel like the first half was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Just like getting it out
It's really
there.
very chaotic.
Mm-hmm.
Losing All is another one.
Losing All is cool. I like that one.
This is a live song that gets played often, and Phil still does this is one called Losing All bit at the live shows as well when they do their rounds. And then the big hit
Stone
that
the
made the
Crow.
radio, Stone the Crow.
I like Stone the Crow. It's not my. I don't know if it's my favorite, but I like that one.
One of my favorites off the album.
It's definitely one of my favorites. Either that or Jail or maybe Eyes of the South. Those are like my three favorites.
What did you think of Stone the Crow?
I think it's a good song.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet. Pray for the Locust. I don't remember this one too much.
It's like a 1 minute instrumental track. I actually really like it though. It's a nice mellow one.
The guitar, it's all the guitars.
Yeah, it's very nice to listen to. I think.
I've listened to this so much, it's like half the time I don't pay attention. It's just like, oh yeah, my favorite song's on now.
Yeah,
Swan Song.
it was decent.
This one was okay.
Yeah, it was.
I don't remember them playing this live.
Yeah, it was just meh.
This is usually this whole like 3/4 of this album gets played live. You know
Yeah.
how important it hit. And then the last one is another banger, Bury Me in Smoke.
Yeah, that one's cool.
This
It's
is
a
like
little long, but it's cool.
yeah, this is the very Sabbathy kind of sound.
Yeah, it's very Sabbath sounding.
Yeah.
Overall, it's a 56-minute album,
Yeah.
and it packs a lot in that amount of time. Bury Me in Smoke usually, like for anything that they do live, they brought out the crew of their fucking their road tour, and they just let them play the instruments while they're all fucking saying their goodbyes, and the road crew's just jamming out to the outro of Bury Me in Smoke, this is fucking cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll say the first half of the album is not really my favorite thing, to be honest. Like, a lot of it was just kind of nah. But the second half is really good, so I don't know, that's just a personal thing. It's not that it's too heavy, it's just I just don't really like the sound that much.
Gotcha.
But again, a lot of it I do like especially that second half of the album. But on the first half, there's stuff I like Pillars of Eternity's cool, and Hail the Leaf's not bad. But, like, it's just not really my thing. But again, a lot of it's cool.
I like the album. I don't think it's the... Here's the thing. I like the last half of the album, like AJ. I think the first half is heavier than I expected going into it. So
That's
when I think
true.
of a stoner album, I think of a more kind of laid-back feeling. But
Yeah.
it is still metal music. I should have taken that into account.
Yeah, it is still metal.
It's still very, yeah. But I do like the album, though. I will say.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I think this is a great jumping point to get into like the metal scene of New Orleans as well as stoner rock
Yeah.
and stoner metal, because this is just a bunch of guys that left their day jobs literally from their regular bands to make a side hustle that was fun. Fun fact: Phil and Pepper Keenan were the first two to drop the demos to people in Europe. And the people in Europe were so enamored by the album, they literally were making homemade shirts of the fucking cassette art and going to shows and trying to find Phil and all the other guys from Crowbar before it was Crowbar. Or not Crowbar, Down.
That's cool.
So, that was pretty neat.
Should we rate it now?
Yeah.
Alright, what do you want to give it?
I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10.
Solid.
The first half, like you guys said, is a little slow, but there's a lot of songs on there that hit hard. Bless you.
Oh, thank you.
There's a lot of songs that hit hard, and then the rest of the album just
Oh, God.
fantastic. Bless you again.
Jeez.
Dying.
Stone the Crow is one of my favorites, but I think Bury Me in Smoke overall is like a heavier song.
Okay.
That's fun, so that's my rating.
I'll give it a 6. Like, again, the first half's really just kind of nah. But the second half, I do like a lot. So, I think it balances out, and there's more tracks I like than dislike at the end of the day. Like, I would definitely check out more of their stuff, because I'm sure it's just as good, if maybe not as good, but, like, still pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it a 7.
Okay.
I think I like it a little more than AJ did. I like some of the tracks on the first half of the album.
Right.
But I have a lot of the same. I do enjoy the last half a little more. Yeah.
Okay. So, Zach, what are you picking? Apparently I've listened to it already.
So I'm trying to pick between the two albums now because I want to do both of these, but I'll do one and save one for later. You want to do commercial or what I think is objectively better? Like commercial success or like what I personally think is objectively a better album? It's the same artist.
Okay, if it's the artist I think it is, I'm gonna go with objectively better.
Objectively better?
Yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna go with Vessel by 21 Pilots.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Because if you say commercial, I would have chose Blurry Face. But
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Vessel.
Okay, that's not who I thought you were gonna pick Gorillaz.
Gorillaz? I've never listened to Gorillaz.
Really?
I've never listened to Gorillaz discography. I've listened to some albums here and there.
Tune in next week when we do Vessel, which is an album I actually do really like.